So here's something nobody tells you. FMS Delhi, one of the best MBA colleges in the country, has a 2 lakh rupees total fees. The placements that go head to head with IIM Lucknow, IIM Kozhikode, IIM Indore, and an alumni network embedded deep in Delhi's corporate corridors. And every year, people with 99.5 percentile in CAT scores, solid work experience, decent profiles get rejected. Not because they weren't smart enough, but because they walked in making the same 5 mistakes that everyone else does. And what's worse, most of the content online about FMS, the blog posts, the Pagal Guy threads, the YouTube videos, they all cover the same surface level stuff. Low fees, high ROI, prepare GK, that's it. So in this video, I'm not doing that. I'm going deep into the stuff that actually costs people their seat at FMS. From CAT prep all the way to the PI room, and even what happens after you get in. Mistake number 1. Let's start with the most common mistake, and honestly the most disrespectful one that you can make. Most people decide to target FMS only after they've crossed the 99 percentile and start looking at it as one of the options. FMS becomes this bonus school. Oh, fees are low, brand is great, why not apply? And then they walk into the GDPI with zero specific preparation for FMS. Because in their head, they were always preparing for IIM Ahmedabad. And FMS was just a nice to have backup. The panel can smell this from about a mile away. Here's what you need to understand. FMS shortlists and selects differently from the IIMs. IIMs weigh your CAT score heavily and build a composite score that includes your 10th, 12th, graduation marks, gender diversity, work experience, everything gets a number. In FMS, it gives you disproportionate weight to your CAT percentile at the shortlisting stage, but in the room, it's almost entirely about you as a person. Your thinking, your articulation, your why FMS. If your why FMS is secretly because I did not convert IIM ABC, you need a better answer before you walk in. The fix? It's to target FMS specifically. Know its faculty, its batch, its culture, its placement trends. Build a genuine case for why you think this is the B school for you and not just why you want to do an MBA. Mistake number 2. Okay, so FMS group discussions. If you've heard anything about them, you've heard the phrase fish market. Multiple people talking over each other, points being repeated, someone literally shouting. It's absolute chaos. And most people prepare for this by telling themselves, I'll just make sure I speak a lot and make strong points. That is exactly the wrong approach. And here's why. The panelists have seen hundreds of these GDs. They are not impressed by the loudest person. They're watching for something specific. Who brings structure to the chaos? The people who in the middle of everyone talking over each other says, I think we are conflating 2 different issues here. Let me try to separate them. That is the person who stands out. Or the person who towards the end doesn't just summarize, but adds one new synthesis that ties the whole discussion together. That is one person who would stand out. The mistake is preparing to participate in a GD. The mindset shift is preparing to elevate one. The fix? In your mock GDs, practice 3 specific moves. Redirecting a derailed discussion, building on someone else's points explicitly, for example, what Rohit said actually connects to, and closing with a summary that adds insights, not just repetition. Those 3 moves done right once in a GD will put you among the top 20% of performers. Mistake number 3, not taking the written ability test seriously. Quick one but an important one. The written ability test, most prep content gives you 2 lines. Write clearly, manage time, don't exceed the word limit, done. That is not prep, that's a disclaimer. Here's what happens. Most candidates write the written ability test responses that are safe, balanced, and completely forgettable. They present both sides of an argument, conclude with a thus, it's a nuanced issue, and hand it in. FMS panelists read hundreds of these. Your safe, balanced response is absolutely invisible. What actually works? taking a clear stand and defending it tightly. You don't have to be right, you have to be convincing and coherent. Show that you can think under pressure and commit to a point of view. In your written ability test preparation, practice writing 250-word responses where your first sentence is your conclusion. Then spend the rest defending it. It feels uncomfortable at first, the discomfort means you're doing it right. Now, mistake number 4, walking into a PI without a real why FMS. This is the one that gets people. It's painful to watch because it's so avoidable. The interview panel at FMS will at some point directly or indirectly ask you why FMS. And a terrifying number of candidates say some version of FMS has an incredible ROI because of the low fee structure, because of the strong placements, because of the Delhi location, XYZ. That answer technically is correct but completely unconvincing. You know why? Because it's the answer of someone who read about FMS, not someone who wants FMS. Here's what a real answer should sound like. It references something specific, a faculty member whose research you've read, a particular specialization that FMS offers which aligns with your goals, an alumnus whose career path you've traced, or an honest acknowledgement of what a DU affiliated institution culture means to you. There's another layer to this that almost nobody prepares for. FMS is often compared to I'm Kohicode, I'm Indore, I'm Lucknow by the applicants. If you can't articulate clearly and specifically why FMS over those B schools, the panel knows you're treating them as an interchangeable option. They're not. FMS alumni culture is Delhi rooted and fiercely tight. The school has a 60+ year legacy embedded in India's capital city. That means something. And if you can speak it authentically, it lands. Now the fix. Before your PI, speak to at least 2 FMS students or alumni. Not for Gyan, for stories, real ones. Those stories become your why FMS. Mistake number 5. Mishandling the academic grilling. FMS panels are known for going deep into your academic background. This trips up a lot of people, especially engineers, who assume they'll get the standard tell me about a circuit question and have rehearsed some surface level answer. The mistake is treating academic questions as formality. FMS interviewers will sometimes take one concept from your graduation subject and probe it for 5 to 7 minutes. Not to embarrass you, to see how you think when you are absolutely pushed. The real mistake is not knowing the answer. It's pretending you know when you don't, or shutting down when you're pushed past your comfort zone. The candidates who impress the panels are the ones who say, I know this up to a point, but beyond that, let me reason it through with you. And then they actually do it. The fix: pick 3 core concepts from your graduation subject, don't revise them, go 2 levels deeper than what you studied. Know the why behind the what. Mistake number 6. The ROI trap and not knowing the downsides. Now here's a counterintuitive one. FMS's 2 lakh fees is its most talked about feature. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's genuinely remarkable for a brand that you're getting. But walking into a PI only knowing the upsides of FMS is an absolute red flag. It signals that you haven't done real research. It signals that you haven't weighed this decision like a future manager would. Because FMS does have its trade-offs. There's a smaller batch size, means fewer peer interactions across diverse backgrounds. The campus infrastructure and the hostel situation is different from a standalone IM campus. International immersion programs are more limited. The academic calendar, being DU affiliated, has its own structure and can feel less polished than a private MBA institution. Now, none of them are deal breakers, but knowing them and still choosing FMS is a completely different energy than not knowing them at all. Now the fix: build a real pros and cons list for FMS versus your other options. When the panel asks you why FMS over, let's say, an IM Indore, your answer should include an honest trade-off acknowledgement. That's what a clear-headed thinker sounds like. Now mistake number 7, the prep bubble problem. Now raise your hand if FMS preparation mostly involves Pagal Guy threads and YouTube playlists for you. Yes, that is a problem. Those resources aren't particularly wrong, but they're just stale and incomplete. Interview styles evolve, panel composition changes. The kind of candidates FMS is selecting for in 2025, let's say, is not identical to what it was in 2018. The mistake is building your entire strategy on second-hand, outdated information without any primary research. The fix is simple, but almost nobody does it. You need to DM 2 to 3 current FMS students on LinkedIn. Tell them what you're preparing for and ask for 15 minutes of them. Most people in MBA programs are happy to help because they were exactly in the same position as you about a year or two ago. That one conversation will give you more current, specific intelligence than hours of scrolling on forums. And that intelligence, the current panel mood, the topics trending in GDs, the profiles they're looking for, is what actually moves the needle. Now, mistake number 8, post-admit complacency. Okay, this is a part of the video that no one else is making because most FMS content ends at congrats, you got in. But getting into FMS and making the most of FMS are two absolutely different things. Mistake number 1, post getting an admit, assuming placements will just happen because of the brand. FMS's placement record is strong, but the school is not an IIM with a heavily curated placement process. It revolves self-driven candidates who network early, build their positioning before day 0, and don't wait for things to come to them. Mistake number 2, not activating the alumni network fast enough. FMS alumni are, and I mean this, some of the most loyal alumni in the Indian B school history. But they respond to genuine outreach and not just a cold, please refer me message. Start building those relationships from day 1 of the program, not week 10 of the placement season. Mistake number 3, underestimating the academic rigor because the fees are low. That's a cognitive bias. Low fee does not mean low standard. The faculty at FMS have serious academic credentials. Show up for academics, not just the degree. And now the payoff. Okay, so we've covered 8 mistakes, but here's the thing I want to leave with you. Everything I've described, the GD moves, the honest why FMS, the academic depth, the primary research, the post-admit hustle, it all points to one underlying quality that FMS is selecting for. And it's not intelligence and it's not even confidence, it's intellectual honesty. The ability to say, I don't know, but here's how I think about it. The willingness to take a stand in a written ability test instead of hedging. The self-awareness to know its real trade-offs and choosing it anyway. The initiative to actually call in an alumnus instead of relying on a forum thread. FMS has been producing leaders since 1954. It's a part of the Delhi University, which means it sits in the middle of real India and not an insulated campus bubble. The candidates it selects tend to be a little more scrappier, a little more street smart, a little less dependent on structure. If that is you, own it in every stage of the process. Don't try to perform as an IIM type candidate. The FMS type candidate is the version that gets you in. Alright, so that's the video. Even if one of these mistakes made you think like, okay, I need to fix that, then this video was worth making. If you found this useful, share it with someone who's targeting FMS in this cycle. Genuinely, most people prepping for this are consuming the same recycled content. Help them find something better. Drop your questions in the comments specifically about GD Prep or PI answers. We will read everything and I'll pin the best questions for a follow-up. And subscribe if you want content that actually goes deeper than the surface. That's the only kind of content that we are interested in making. I'll see you in the next one, and in case you're preparing for CAT and OMIDS as well, you can also refer to the CAT and OMIDS DIY kit by SuperGrads, which is India's most personalized MBA prep. I'll leave a link in the description and I'll see you in the next one.